We start today with a surprise in the case of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. The U.S. District Federal Court judge hearing the case decided to postpone today's sentencing. The former Trump National Security Advisor, who admitted he lied to the FBI in the Russia investigation, took a lashing from the judge earlier today. RT's Dan Cohen has been following the court case and joins us live with more outside the courthouse. Dan, what's going on?
Well, Scotty, the most high-profile prosecution in the Russiagate saga has yielded a grand total of 0 Russia-related convictions. Now, Michael Flynn was accused of selling out his country, but on behalf of Turkey. Now, behind me is the federal district court where the former national security advisor was supposed to have been sentenced for lying to federal investigators, but at 1 p.m., the court announced his sentencing would be delayed until March of 2019. Now, Flynn is charged about lying about his meetings in December 2016 with then Russian ambassador to the United States, Sergei Kislyak, and acting as an unregistered foreign agent for Turkey. Now, the judge, Emmett Sullivan, admonished Flynn about his time working on behalf of Turkey, saying, quote, "All along, you were an unregistered agent of a foreign country while serving as the national security advisor. Arguably, that undermines everything that this flag over here stands for. Arguably, you sold your country out." Now, Judge Sullivan even brought up whether Flynn could have been tried for treason. The judge was referring to Flynn's time working as a lobbyist for Turkey and when he had not registered as a foreign agent until after the fact. It's alleged that part of his contract was that Flynn, who was a special forces leader, would take part in a plot to kidnap the Turkish cleric Fethullah Gulen, who lives in Virginia, and Turkish President Recep Erdogan claims was behind the attempted coup in 2016. Now, while the judge was furious at Flynn for his lobbying on behalf of Turkey, he didn't mention Flynn's work on behalf of Israel. It was during a meeting between Flynn and Kislyak back in December of 2016 when he was a member of the Trump transition team that Flynn had requested Kislyak have Russia delay a vote on a UN resolution condemning Israeli settlement expansion, though Russia did not actually agree. Now, Flynn's charge sheet showed that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked the Trump transition team to lobby other countries on its behalf, which is exactly what Flynn did. So the Russiagate scandal continues to reveal collusion, but not with Russia, with Turkey and with America's unshakable ally in Israel. Reporting live in Washington, Dan Cohen. Back to you, Scotty.
Thank you, Dan. For more, we go to former Democratic Representative from Florida, Alan Grayson. Thank you for joining us, Congressman.
Thank you.
Okay, so you look at the events of today, and you obviously saw a very stern judgment, obviously in words, from the judge. However, the only sentencing that we have seen come down have come based on Flynn's own partners and having to do with Turkey. So the question is right now, if there was real work or real substantial evidence coming out from Flynn to help with Mueller, don't you think we would have seen some sort of sentencing today, some sort of jail time?
It's not exactly true. Among the things that it's agreed now that he lied about when he was speaking to the FBI was his contacts with Russia, and specifically with Russian Ambassador Kislyak. He lied to the FBI. He's admitted that he lied to the FBI, and that's what he was lying to the FBI about, among other things. So it's not true to say this is somehow detached from the Trump-Russia investigation.
But if he did lie, and he has admitted that he lied, he didn't change any of his pleas, why then would you not see a judge say actually bring down some sort of sentence rather than just say, you know what, we'll do it later, or go along with the actual request of Flynn's lawyers to continue cooperation and not give him a judgment right now?
Well, I had a law partner who once told me that the closest thing you're going to find to God on this planet Earth is a federal judge. And it's not always clear why God does what he does or why a federal judge does what he does. But I will suggest to you that it's possible that the reason is that the judge felt he was being fed a pig in a poke, that he was being set up, that he was not being told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about Flynn's cooperation. I think the judge believed that Flynn had cooperated, and he wasn't told what the cooperation was. Typically, when there's cooperation, the judge is told in writing what that cooperation entails. And here, the government was vague about that because probably they're looking to use his cooperation against people like Donald Trump, and they don't want to show their hand yet. So the judge took that as an offense. He said, you're not being frank with me, and I can't make a proper decision regarding the sentencing unless I know all the facts.
Well, it's interesting that you would bring that up because earlier this week, talking about knowing all the facts, do you think, the fact that in front of the House Oversight and Government Committee this week, you did have two investigators present 6,000 pages on the Clinton Foundation and opening up that door and saying that they were actually from the very beginning, that they were a part of the same thing, that they were acting on behalf of foreign agents and showing 6,000 pages worth of evidence showing that, and that they never registered as foreign agents. Do you think possibly this could be possibly opening the door on the Democrats right now? They have to tread lightly on how they say, because once again, this could actually be bad on both sides now that we're going to be looking into this type of technicality.
Well, it's not a technicality.
Or this type of law.
Registering as a foreign agent is law, and when you don't do it, you can be convicted of a felony. It's not even a misdemeanor. But let me just tell you this. It is true that there have been serious allegations raised regarding the Clinton Foundation. I'm not ever going to try to defend the Clinton Foundation for any of that. The fact is that an enormous amount of money passed through that foundation, some of which had foreign origins, and that's a documented fact. However, right now, Hillary Clinton is not going to be impeached over that. Donald Trump may very well be impeached for his illicit foreign contacts. And in fact, the significance of the Flynn situation is this. Michael Flynn represents the quid pro quo that people have been searching for in the whole Russiagate investigation, if there is one. And we have yet to see exactly what Flynn did, what he knows about, and that's why today's events are important, because they represent either a step forward or possibly even a step backward from finding out exactly what Flynn did on behalf of the Trump campaign with Russia in exchange for whatever cooperation Russia gave and whatever assistance Russia gave during the investigation. That's something that we're not going to find out about the Clinton Foundation, because obviously there was no help from anybody in the Clinton Foundation for her campaign, foreign or otherwise.
Well, it's interesting to see how this is going to continue to develop. And Flynn was one of the first Trump campaigners who were arrested, even I think before you saw everything come down for Manafort or Papadopoulos. So it's interesting it's taken him this long. And the only convictions we've seen that's resulted because of his testimony has been on his own business partners. So it'll be interesting to see if there's even more that he can tell that Mueller might be looking for. Thanks for joining us, Congressman.
Thank you very much.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.